Hi everyone, it's Mike here. Don't forget to click that subscribe and bell icon to receive a notification each time I upload a new video. Are you going to go downstairs first, or are you going to follow me? Are you going to follow me? Come on then. Always tries to cut you off at the pass.
Well, I'm just finishing off my journals, my peony journals, who've been very, very popular. Thank you very much indeed. I have plans for some new projects which I'll share with you. Okay.
Are you sitting comfortably?
You're sitting comfortably. Don't tell anybody. It's between me and you, all right? Not telling anybody else. Okay. I've got plans to make 3 new types of journals, and I'll share them with you. Number 1 is going to be, I did mention it in the video, was it this week or last week, about a steampunk mechanical menagerie. They are fantastical animals. There is a dragon, there is a griffin, there's a hummingbird, there's all sorts of strange and wonderful creatures. They're all made out of cogs, and they look amazing, and it's very Leonardo da Vinci type planned background, all the sepia colours, but the actual machines themselves are all in greys and silvers, etc. I'm going to make mini journals with those, so the ordinary ones with the elastic on, but I may do something different for a closure for those. That's number 1. Number 2, I have a commission that I'm doing at the moment, the butterfly ball, which is beautiful. The lady that's commissioned me to make it, she loves butterflies, and her father was very much into butterflies. I think he's possibly, I can't remember what you call a butterflyologist.
Is it a lepidopterist?
Lepidopterist, yeah.
Or is that moths?
It's the same. So I'm doing one of those, but the difference with that one is going to be, I've got something up my sleeve card-wise. Rather than doing the ordinary just front and back cards, I've got something different for that. And number 4, but by no means least, is the Victorian Zoo. The Victorian Zoo is a full-size journal, as is the butterfly ball, but the Victorian Zoo is slightly different. I'll read you the preface to it, and then you can decide whether you like it. From the Harry Potter experience in January with Helen and Robert. Okay, so there's a letter that goes in front of this journal, and it says, it's written by a gentleman called Professor Leonard Stanwick. This is set in 1887, so well into Victorian steampunky territory. One dark and rainy evening in mid-January 1887, Professor Leonard Stanwick proposed an idea to his fellow members at his gentleman's club, the Athenaeum. His theory was that when the gates close at the zoo on the evening at the zoo, what do the animals do? Simple question. Many members, including his best friends and colleagues, said it's obvious they just go to sleep. However, Leonard had a completely different theory to this. His theory was that they were only working in the zoo as their daytime jobs. Like me and you, we have daytime jobs. When the gates close on a night, the animals go about their own business. The theory was met with scepticism and hilarity. This volume is the culmination of 5 years' study and evidence gathering. Professor Leonard Stanwick believed that all the animals had a real life and a work life. Do you?
Noisy cars outside. Anyway, it's Friday. Friday just after lunch. Now, normally, when it gets to the first Saturday of each month, there's a brand new Mission Inspiration prompt set over on our Facebook group. Now, I normally do my Mission Inspirations on the Saturday of, when the prompts are released. I can't do that this month because I've got to go out tomorrow now, more on that later. So I'm going to have to do all my filming for the Mission Inspiration today, which means I've got to, not only do I have to prepare, I've got to film, then I've got to sit and edit, then I've got to get it all uploaded and scheduled, ready to go live automatically on Saturday. It's the actual prompt itself that's got to go up onto the Facebook group, so I've got to do that and schedule that for 12 o'clock on tomorrow. And then I've got to edit and schedule everything on my YouTube channel and also on my blog, so it goes live at 7 o'clock, which is my usual time that I normally release things onto my YouTube channel. So I've got to get all that done this afternoon before I get up very early tomorrow morning, jump in the car and drive to the other end of the country. So I shall crack on and get working, roll my sleeves up and get started on the project. I've had a little visitor while I've been working. You've been supervising, haven't you? Hello. He has. He's been supervising. So yeah, I've done the project now. So the prompts for July are under the sea. You've got coral as the colour, ocean and sand, and then we've got some kind of nautical under the water words for inspiration. So of course, being a steampunk fan, are you going to go? Off you go then. Probably go back to bed. Being a steampunk fan, obviously I'm going to have to use an octopus, so that was my inspiration for my page, which is what I've just done there. So cutting that octopus out was an absolute fiddly nightmare, but I persevered and did it. I got so far with the project and then stopped, and then I started pulling all the video footage over onto the camera, onto the computer to start editing. And I was just looking at the book and I thought, you know what, it could do with some more bubbles. So something that I don't often do that often is actually go back and revisit a page. So I've added some bubbles, glossy accent bubbles, just on the page there, just as a little bit of shine. When you see the shine on those, just to kind of give it that little bit of extra dimension. I could have put some on the glass there, but I thought, well, it's going a bit over the top, that. So yeah, so that's my page. So what I've got to do now is get all the footage done, well, all the footage onto the computer, edit it all, render it all, upload it, get it all scheduled, ready for Saturday. There you go. Busy, busy. It's Monday morning, 6th of July, just about 8:30 in the morning, and I'm out on the road already. It's been a bit of a strange and busy weekend. On Thursday, I got a phone call from my sister, my eldest sister, if you know what I mean. I've got two sisters, both older than me, but the younger one of the two. Not that it makes any difference. Saying that she had some time off and would like to come and visit Mum and Dad because she hasn't seen them since lockdown. And would I go and pick her up? So on Saturday morning, bright and early, and I'm talking bright and early, I jumped in the car and drove across to where she lives, in Hull, which is towards the east coast. I was there for 9 o'clock in the morning. Told you it was bright and early. Picked her up and we were back at Mum and Dad's about 10:30, 11:15. So Saturday, not broken up, not all used up by travelling. It was great. So I dropped her off there. She had a nice visit with Mum and Dad, And then on Sunday, they all came over. Mum, Dad, and Leslie, my sister, all came over, and I and Ian, both of us, and Mr. Bentley, of course, threw up a quick kind of buffet. But at the same time, or on Sunday morning, I gave my brother a ring and said, sister's coming with Mum and Dad, would you like to drop in with your other half? So they did that. They were actually on the way back, believe it or not, from the East Coast. So they called in on the way back. So we had a bit of an impromptu family gathering, impromptu family reunion. My brother hadn't seen my sister because they live, quite a distance apart from each other, and usually only get to see each other through like family weddings or funerals or whatever. I don't think he'd seen her for about 5 years, which was lovely to get them together again in the same room. So yes, it was a nice kind of family reunion, family hello kind of thing. My brother's fiance, obviously my sister had never met her, so that was nice to do that because Diane came as well. But throughout the whole thing, obviously, you don't really want to stick the camera on and start shoving camera in people's faces. So I didn't film anything. So it's now Monday morning. I'm going back over to Mum and Dad's this morning to pick Leslie up, and she's going back home today, so I'm going to drive her home. So I'm going to be out all morning today, because it will only take us about an hour and 20 minutes to get to where she lives, and then it's going to take me about the same time to get back again. So I'm hoping to be back by lunchtime. So Leslie doesn't drive, you see, which is why she doesn't get over as often as she'd like. It's now about 11 o'clock. I've just dropped Leslie back off at home, and I'm back on the motorway heading back to base. So the last hour or so took about an hour and a half to get here. We've just spent the time chatting, catching up, talking about Mum and Dad, about how well they've both been coping during lockdown and all that kind of stuff, and Mum's health and Dad's health and all that kind of thing, as you do, and making plans for future visits, which is nice. I forgot to mention earlier, I know when you do family get-togethers, and I said that I didn't switch or didn't film anything, but we did take some pictures, obviously. So we did do kind of like a couple of group shots and that kind of thing of everybody together, as you can see on the screen now. So yeah, it wasn't a total kind of like loss as far as pictures are concerned. So I'm hoping to get back now. It's 11 o'clock. I should be home no later than 12:30. So that's traffic permitting, etc., kind of thing. So it's 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. on Tuesday, and it's been one of those non-stop all day kind of days. Come on then, up. Thank you. I'm sure you could guess who that was. Yeah, it's been one of those non-stop kind of days where started early-ish, and it just seemed to roll on. The computer today was just being an absolute pain in the backside. The internet speeds are still being squashed and throttled, which makes all those programs that we use, such as Adobe, Photoshop and Illustrator and all that kind of stuff, just impossible, almost impossible to actually use. Of course, uploading videos and all that kind of stuff is just a nightmare as well. This isn't meant to be a moan, by the way. It's just been one of those busy, like I said, like a real busy kind of day. So we filmed, prepped, filmed Ian's Steampunk Tuesday video and got that edited, but that took forever. Finally got that uploaded, and that went live at 7 o'clock this evening. So obviously that was last night's video if you're watching this on Wednesday. And then we sat and did a few bits and pieces on the dining room table. I'm doing a journal for somebody, my sister, my elder sister, and I'm just putting the finishing touches to that. And also Ian was doing some other bits and pieces on the dining room table. Plus, we've also been doing some day job stuff today, which is probably a bit of a rare occurrence these days. The reason we went over to Whitby last week was day job stuff. So we were just doing some more work on that project. Not particularly at liberty to say what that is just yet, but yeah, so we were doing that as well. So it's been a full kind of 11-hour day today of work, busyness, and of course throughout the entire of the day we've had to entertain one four-legged, I don't know where he's gone, one four-legged friend as well. So, oh, there you are. What were you doing? What were you up to then? What were you doing then? You gonna come and sit with me? Okay. Don't start shouting out the window now. No. He's seen a doggy out the window. Quiet. Noisy. Can't hear you. It's Wednesday. We've just had lunch. The weather, it's raining again. There's a surprise. So it's been kind of busy. Ian's been working on the table today, finishing or getting a lot of the journals for the last set of personalised Perfect Peonies journals that he did last week for last week's Steampunk Tuesday. That's what I'm trying to say, I suppose. So he's been trying to get all those finished because he a lot to get through. And I've been doing a few finishing touches to a journal that I've been making for a commission for my sister, which I think I mentioned yesterday. So this morning we found out that the hairdressers, my barbers, is back open again. But you've got to book. Yes, thank you. You've got to phone her and book an appointment because it's only one person in at a time. So one person in the building. She's wearing face guard and the mask and all that kind of stuff, like Dr. Pimple Popper when she has that plastic mask on. So I'm going to phone and try and book an appointment for her to get my hair cut next week. Not sure how short I want to go though, because it is quite long now. People have said that they like it long. Ian preferred me with it short, so I think I'm going to go somewhere in the middle. But hey ho, we'll see. We'll see indeed. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. Thank you.